Niall, your immediate response to UEFA's decision today?
I'm very pleased they've took the decision to move the Euros out a year. I think it just gives everybody breathing space at a really difficult time, an unprecedented time, and one where the health of our players, of our fans, and everybody in the footballing family of Europe is at stake. So, yeah, I would commend them for doing that. They have aspirations around the build-up to that and how it'll all fall into place, i.e. the qualifications. They also have aspirations, as you know, in completing domestic leagues, etc. So it's a big ask, but I think the hard work begins now and the consultation processes start. But yeah, very, very, very pleased to get clarity on at least an aspiration of where we need to be at this awful time.
And of course, a decision from UEFA today that the playoff against Slovakia, the semi-final, will now be played between June the 1st and June the 9th. There's clarity there as well now.
Yeah, I think we know that that's a realistic target for us to aim for. Will it happen? Will the medical world allow that? We don't know. Will HSE and government allow fans to travel, players to travel? We don't want to put anybody in any danger. That's the first thing. But if there is a lift and if there's a possibility of those games going ahead, then I think it augurs well that we have a defined date in our times that by the 10th of June we'll know our fate. That would be something.
And of course, a lot of speculation about Mick McCarthy and Stephen Kenny and their respective futures.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I don't think there's any point in trying to do something about that now. We're still in the position where we don't know whether we're going to the Euros or not. We'll know on June the 10th. And I would have thought June the 10th would be a good time to start worrying or overly worrying about that particular instance. And we'll do that at the right time, and we'll speak to the stakeholders first. We won't be talking publicly about that until the right time.
2021 is the centenary of the FAI, and now we have 4 games in Euro 2021 in Dublin.
Yeah, isn't that something? If it all comes to pass, it will be great. Our stakeholders have worked so hard, and our partners here in Dublin, for this year, and okay, it's been put off by a year. That's a blow. It's also a blow to the hospitality sector. It's also a blow to the Exchequer. The Exchequer loses out, and we were hoping to make amends for the help that we've been given. But it's just been put out for a year. Our partners have indicated today that we're staying strong, and we're going to emphatically roll our sleeves up and get stuck into what will be another long process to make sure that that we can turn it around in that year, and that everything that was built up to 2020 can be switched seamlessly to 2021. But our partners have been brilliant to now. When you look at Dublin City Council, you look at the Department of Sport and Government, the Aviva Stadium themselves, and below that, lots of very important partners on Garda Síochána, the DAA, for instance, the NTA. There's a lot of people who've done a lot of good work now, and we all want to see that carry on. It's a bump in the road, there's no doubt about that, but I think we're going to work hard together to make sure that we have a great tournament. As you say, what a time to do it, 2021 centenary, start of something real new in football in Ireland, to look back at all the great things of the last 100 years, and to have it all. The icing on the cake would be to have tournament games in Dublin, with Ireland playing even better.
Now, the League of Ireland, the aspiration from UEFA is to recommence club football in the middle of April. A lot of League of Ireland clubs suffering hardship at the moment. What's your message to them on the back of today's decisions?
Well, we're in direct consultation with the clubs, have been for the last week or so. We started a steering group, as you know, and we're assessing the impact daily of what this is doing to the clubs and how hard it is for them. As you know, some of them have already gone and announced that they won't be able to pay players. That's falling in line with, I suppose, the national emergency that's occurred with thousands and thousands of people being laid off. In my own village tonight, the hotel closed and 200 people were laid off. It's a really, really tough time, and we all get that, and we're trying very hard to come up with some solutions with the clubs and indeed the PFAI and the players themselves that will give us some sense of satisfaction in this extraordinary time, that players can be helped in some shape or form. But there's a big meeting on Thursday again with the League of Ireland clubs, and our steering group will continue to work and assess and look at how we can do this. If there is something in Europe, that we can go to, we will go. If there's something in government, we would look at that too for the players. But every industry is in the same boat. It's really, really tough to imagine that there'll be something extra for us there. We have to really, dig deep now and see how can we best shelter, our players essentially, and our clubs who will lose huge revenues. So it's a real worry, Cathal. But I think all we can do is get the stakeholders around the table, make it the priority that it is, and try and deliver something that brings about some form of comfort in a terrible time. And look, the aspirations to get going again in April, that would be great. We know there'd be a limit then to the damage that would be done. That would be something. But it's aspirational, and let's hope that everything that goes on with COVID-19 means that at that point we can play football again. It's a tough sort of position, very tough position to be in. Football isn't alone, but we'll work through it as best we can.
But it's important now that everybody, clubs, players, the association, has an open mind on what's next.
I think so, yes. I think it's extraordinary times, and will life ever be the same again? Who knows, And I think in this period, as I say, the clubs have some real deep thinking to do themselves about how the future looks for them if and when we ever do get back to what we call normality. And do they use this time to create something new or different in time? As in normal times there for the last while, the All-Ireland League has been suggested. There's been suggestions about reverting to a winter league, etc. I think there's a lot to ponder for the clubs. We're here to help. They'll make the decisions, and we just hope that together we can find a way through this awful period. But it won't be for effort and hard work. It's a big priority in the association.
A big step that may help the league clubs and is definitely going to help Irish football was taken on Monday night when the Senior Council voted in the new banking procedures for the FEI. Mm-hmm. That's a major result. It's
a major result for the whole game, and that goes from grassroots right the way through the amateur game. And when you find the issues that we're just talking about are so prevalent in the League of Ireland, in our professional game, right there is a place that will benefit straight away. So all of them will in time, and really grateful and welcome the vote that was decided by the council members, which actually makes the association feel as if it can work again and function properly as the business that it was always set out to be. That was the difference, I think. Once that vote went through, as an association, you can start to plan properly, knowing that you have the resources to get the show back on the road again. And League of Ireland is one of the first places. We would owe money to the League of Ireland clubs, and that sign off straight away has given us an ability to give the club some comfort. And obviously we would hope that in summer in that the players would be comforted too. But again, we'll take it. Won't be issuing orders and telling people what to do here. We'll be just trying to assist and hope that the game comes to some really good joined up consequences together. And that's the big thing here. The football needs to stay strong and stay together. We have this money now to make the game work a little bit better. It's not the whole lot. We didn't get everything. There's still, as you know, government assistance to come, and there's potentially UEFA money to come too. So we'll get better again. But right at this time, I think that vote going through was great. Finally feels like the association can do what the association is meant to do.
And talk of affiliation fees, perhaps for league clubs.
Well, I think the clubs will discuss measures, with the steering group, and again they have their own meeting on Thursday. They have a very big meeting on Thursday to try and work out the future. But if we were to do something like that, it would be us talking to the clubs about it first. I don't think now is the portal to do it. Our joy at getting the money in means that we have lots of constituents and lots of areas need to be plugged, gaps and funding gaps, etc. But that said, I think we've said it in the past. We'll say it now in this tough time. The League of Ireland and the players are a priority right now.
In terms of football, we all watched the boys in green on Monday night, and we went back to '94, etc. You feel like a new start is around the corner now?
It feels that way. I believe the association has done unbelievably good things in the last 20, 30 years that have been out of the news because of other reasons. And it's time now to get, the power of football back into the mindset and as you say, watching the programme and seeing what football can do for Ireland. And, they were talking about it being involved in the peace process, winning the tricolour back because the fans took it back from paramilitary activity. That alone is something huge that footballers does. But when I see the stuff that I see, from our RDOs and our ETBs here, our regional development officers and our enterprise training board officers, who go around the country and bring in to schools and to other areas, brilliant educative and fun things that football can deliver for young people. I was out in Darndale last week as one of the best things I've gone to in a long, long time, where the local guards and the young people are playing in night leagues together. It's unheard of, and to hear Christine, the girl who runs the show out there, to hear her say, "We've tried everything in here. Football is the only thing that works." That tells you how important football is. It didn't need to flash back to 1990 and watch the whole country go mad. Football is very important, and I believe the future and what our association should be about is from grassroots level, to the schools, right up through all the different chambers, right the way up to the professional game and indeed the international game, that we recognise football for what it is from now on and never go back to the dark days where football is being dragged through the gutter. I think the great opportunity that 2021 gives us, the great opportunity that bringing the newfound income and revenues that are given to us by the stakeholders who've supported us, that we can actually deliver on what an association is truly meant to deliver on in all those areas. And regardless of who the CEO is or who the president is, there should be a fundamental framework of what the association does and how it is appreciated by its people. And I think we're getting to a point where that can start to happen.
And there's an opportunity now for football in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic to show people leadership, to show community support, to be there for each other.
It's really important that football sticks together at this time, that we all understand the pain that's in the air right now. There's some very serious things happening, elderly people particularly very vulnerable, but I suppose the hope is that football sticks together, that we unite in some way. I think Monday night in the council voting in, I think that's a real stepping stone to a better future. It's only I suppose a point in time, but it's significant. It's big in that we can now start to act again like a proper association, and what that can do then is hopefully give confidence and help to all of the football people in the country, young and old, that they're part of a great thing, that the association football in this country is about to come back and be stronger than it ever was before, and that in this particular time of need and a time of worry, that we look out for each other, that the community stays strong, and that football sticks its chest out. I just get the feeling that we'll come back stronger than ever when this COVID-19 disappears, and I'm very, very happy that the council voted for the first part of that to happen, the Bank of Ireland part. But when government's part comes in late April, as it's suggested, and UEFA get their shoulder behind the wheel after that, I can see a better day for all of us. I just hope people can hang in and be tough in the meantime.